Hi, everyone. Some weeks don't just pass by, they linger. They sit heavy in the chest, not because of one loss, but because of how many stories quietly come to an end all at once. This was one of those weeks. Across continents and generations, the world said goodbye to voices that shaped culture, comforted millions, and became part of our own lives. These weren't just names in headlines, they were memories. This is Who Died This Week, December 2025, number 3. In the peaceful countryside of Oxfordshire, England, the literary world lost one of its most perceptive voices when Joanna Trollope passed away at the age of 82. For decades, her novels explored the delicate fault lines of family, class, and personal sacrifice. Books like A Village Affair, Other People's Children, and The Rector's Wife didn't rely on spectacle, they relied on truth. Though critics often labeled her the Queen of the Aga Saga, a term she openly disliked, Joanna Trollope knew her stories were never trivial. They were reflections of real lives, real struggles, and quiet heartbreaks unfolding behind closed doors. Her words gave dignity to ordinary moments, and that legacy will outlive her. Only days later, shock rippled through Los Angeles as news broke that Rob Reiner had died at the age of 78 after suffering fatal injuries in a violent stabbing at his home. His wife, Michelle Singer, was also killed. The tragedy felt unreal. Rob Reiner, son of legendary entertainer Carl Reiner, first became a household name as Mike "Meathead" Stivic on All in the Family, but it was behind the camera where he changed cinema forever. Films like This Is Spinal Tap, Stand By Me, The Princess Bride, Misery, and When Harry Met Sally didn't just entertain, they defined eras. His work captured friendship, love, fear, and hope with rare humanity. His absence leaves a silence that no soundtrack can fill. Television history dimmed with the passing of Anthony Geary, who died at 78 from complications following surgery. For millions, he wasn't just an actor, he was Luke Spencer from General Hospital. When Luke married Laura Weber Spencer, nearly 30 million viewers tuned in, making it one of the most watched moments in television history. Over decades, Anthony Geary became the heartbeat of daytime television, earning a record 8 Daytime Emmy Awards. His performances blurred the line between fiction and real emotion, and fans felt like they lost a member of their own family. Music lost a voice steeped in soul and rhythm when Carl Carlton passed away at 72. He began performing as a child known as Little Carl Carlton, but the world truly embraced him with Everlasting Love, a song that refused to fade with time. Later, his funk anthem She's a Bad Mama Jama earned him a Grammy Award nomination and solidified his place in music history. His voice carried joy, swagger, and a warmth that made listeners feel alive. Cinema said farewell to one of its most unforgettable character actors when Peter Green died at 60 in New York City. Known for playing intense, often terrifying figures, he left indelible impressions as Zed in Pulp Fiction and Dorian Tyrell in The Mask. Even brief moments, like a chilling cigarette flick in The Usual Suspects, proved his rare ability to dominate a scene. Peter Green didn't need long speeches. His presence alone told the story. Among all these losses, one broke hearts in a way words barely capture. Bree Bird, a 9-year-old social media star, passed away after a courageous battle with neuroblastoma. Despite her age, she inspired hundreds of thousands across Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Her joy was contagious. Her strength was astonishing. She adored the movie Wicked, forming a special connection with Ariana Grande, and fulfilled her dream of attending the premiere of Wicked for good. Bree Bird reminded the world that bravery doesn't come from age, it comes from spirit. In London, the entertainment world honored Stanley Baxter, who died at 99. A giant of British television, he became a household name through The Stanley Baxter Show, shaping comedy with unmatched timing, wit, and versatility, especially in Scotland. Music lovers mourned Joe Ely, who passed away at 78 in Taos, New Mexico. A pioneer of alt-country, he blended country, rock, and Tex-Mex, creating classics like Me and Billy the Kid and She Never Spoke Spanish to Me. His influence crossed genres, even collaborating with The Clash. Australia lost beloved actress Rachel Carpani, 45, best known as Jodie Fountain on McLeod's Daughters, with memorable roles on Home and Away and NCIS Los Angeles. The sports world remembered Bobby Rousseau, 85, a four-time Stanley Cup champion with the Montreal Canadiens. Science fiction fans lost a childhood hero with the death of Gil Gerard, who passed away at 82 after battling cancer. As the star of Buck Rogers in the 25th century, he embodied adventure and optimism. For many viewers, he represented the belief that the future could still be hopeful. The digital world mourned Tucker Janal, a 31-year-old influencer who died by suicide. Known for joyful food challenges with his brothers Carson and Connor, his videos brought laughter to millions. His passing is a heartbreaking reminder that even the brightest smiles can hide silent struggles. Intellectual circles reflected on the loss of Norman Podhoretz, who died at 95 in New York City. As longtime editor of Commentary magazine, he shaped decades of political and cultural debate. His influence was recognized with the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2004. Fashion mourned Anthony Price, who died at 80, leaving a lasting mark on modern style. At a time of rigid menswear, he brought boldness and theatrical flair. Dressing icons like David Bowie, Roxy Music, and Duran Duran, he transformed the suit into a statement of rebellion, self-expression, and performance, shaping the visual spirit of the 1980s. Journalism lost a towering presence with the death of Peter Arnott, who passed away at 91 in Newport Beach, California. A fearless war correspondent, Peter Arnott spent years reporting from Vietnam, often placing himself in the heart of danger to tell stories that needed to be told. His dedication earned him a Pulitzer Prize, but more importantly, it earned him trust. Later, during his long career with CNN, he became one of the most recognizable voices in global news, providing historic coverage of the Gulf War and conducting a rare interview with Osama bin Laden. Through television screens around the world, his calm, steady voice brought the brutal reality of conflict into living rooms, forcing audiences to confront truths they could not ignore. Yet some of the most powerful stories didn't belong to celebrities at all. They belonged to everyday people whose lives were no less extraordinary. An engineer who survived the Nazi invasion of Belgrade and rebuilt a future from ruin. A school psychologist who helped found the Association of Black Psychologists during a moment of national grief, and a psychiatrist whose deeply personal journey inspired the television series Transparent. These lives may not have filled headlines, but their impact was profound. They remind us that legacy isn't measured by fame, but resilience, courage, and the lives touched along the way. We also paused to remember those lost years ago: Peter O'Toole, Kirsty MacColl, Chris Fairley, Colonel Sanders, and Maurice White of Earth, Wind and Fire. Though time has passed, their voices still echo through film, music, comedy, and culture, continuing to inspire generations who never forgot them. As flags lowered across Rhode Island, Connecticut, Kansas, Maine, Ohio, Tennessee, Iowa, Alabama, Hawaii, and Missouri, they honored victims of tragedy, fallen leaders, and lives taken too soon. Each lowered flag told a silent story of grief and remembrance. Loss never disappears, but memory transforms it. If these stories moved you, please like, share, and subscribe to help keep these names and legacies alive. Thanks for watching.